I really got a kick out of it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. And I was like, I liked the director. I thought he did a really good job and really kind of swept me up into it. And it was a fun picture. I loved Burt Reynolds in it. I thought he was excellent.
So did I.
It was so great because I've always been a big fan of his as an actor and a person and everything. I've never met the man, but I was named after him actually.
Really?
Yeah, my mom had me when she was only 16, and she had Burt Reynolds at that time was on Gunsmoke, and he played a half-breed Indian named Quint.
Right.
And I'm 25% Indian. As much as I like Burt Reynolds, I don't want to be named Burt. All right. But it was great to actually see him carry a picture. It was great to see him in a class act film with some of that old movie star charisma. He's another guy, like we were talking about Stallone, who's a very terrific actor that, you know, got neglected.
Paul is one of my best friends, and I would say he's probably the current filmmaking artist out right now, who I consider the most a contemporary, the most a friendly competitor, and I'm glad to be making movies in the same time as Paul. I'm afraid I still have to choose Boogie Nights over There Will Be Blood. As exquisite as There Will Be Blood is, I still prefer the exuberance of Boogie Nights over the formalism of There Will Be Blood.
That whole thing in Boogie Nights where it's like, oh, everything's changing now. Now it's officially the 80s, and now they're going to stop shooting on film, and it's going to now be all digital and video, and it's talked about in Boogie Nights like it's the end of the end. It's the end of this time. This glorious time is over with. It's when the movie starts becoming a bummer. You know, there is an interesting aspect though of working at the Pussycat Theater when they were showing these films on film, and the ones that, and it's like, everything is, you know, it's about ready to turn into home video. It's about everything is going to turn into Swedish Erotica Volume 1 through 36. And everything's going to, be like that. But when I'm still there, it's still the 70s porno. It's still, the 70s porno stars, Annette Haven, they're still kind of the big stars. Vanessa Del Rio, they're kind of the big stars. They haven't been turned over to the Shauna Grants of the world and the Tracy Lords of the world. They haven't shown up yet. Well, look, I actually, I think Burt Reynolds is fantastic in the movie. Me and Paul have talked about this, though. I mean, I think there's a slight flaw in Boogie Nights, and the flaw in Boogie Nights is the perception of the Burt Reynolds character. And what I mean by that is this. Paul can say he's not based on the director Gerard Damiano, who directed Devil and Mrs. Jones and Deep Throat. He is. He obviously is. He looks exactly like him. And Gerard Damiano has a very unique look. So you have to actually make him, Burt Reynolds doesn't look like that. So you actually have to go out of your way to make him look like Gerard Damiano with the gray and black Van Dyke that he wore and the kind of wavy gray hair that he wore. That's not Burt Reynolds' look. That is Gerard Damiano's look. So he went out of his way to make the guy look like his exact double. So you can't say, I didn't mean to be that guy. Yes, he did. Here's my problem with the film, though. Yes, I do think it's honest about being a filmmaker. But my problem with it, though, is when he makes the cop movie, the porno cop movie, and he's killing himself doing it, and then you see the film looks like a piece of shit. It looks horrible. Now, believe me, I've seen more porno movies than Paul have because I worked at the porno theater. All right. And I saw a lot of movies crappy like that. But he has the Burt Reynolds character say, I think, he says it in the full on moving the close up in him. I think this is my greatest work yet.
This is the best work we've ever done.
I think this is my finest work yet. Gerard Damiano was a better director than that. Gerard Damiano's better footage looked drastically better than that cop crap. Yes, exactly. Gerard Damiano was a good enough filmmaker to know the difference between, oh, wow, this is the best movie I've ever done, and no, this one has a little bit of a story. But we still shot it on 16 millimeter, in crappy daylight with no light, and it looks like what it looks like. Burt Reynolds suggests that he's more of a director than that he would know the difference. Gerard Damiano definitely would know the difference, and he's playing Gerard Damiano. So I think it's a cheap line because that character would know that work is not the best work he could possibly do. Yeah, you can definitely lose perspective, but you don't think some piece of junk that you did is the best work you've ever going to do.